Meghan knows that what could make people pay attention to her is the truth about Archie and Lilibet, her divorce from Harry, or controversial actions. I believe that is why she recently shared that she was bullied during her pregnancy. Well, how many people here believe that? I believe her plan was successful. At least for me. She successfully aroused confusion about her pregnant belly and found some photos that looked very fake. Is she really pregnant? I know you know, and welcome back to the Royal News 365 channel, my thirsty friends. I believe most of you are like me. We call Harry and Meghan's kids invisible kids. However, it is all because of their seemingly absent presence. While there is no clear evidence, I will not deny their existence. I do not want to impose anything on innocent children. What we most certainly doubt is who actually gave birth to the children. The information about the hysterectomy of Meghan was revealed by people around her, not made up by us. So how could she be pregnant? It is easy to answer. The pregnant person is not her. She has no idea what it is like to be pregnant. It is honestly putting every one of us down that has had kids. It is a joke. She looks ridiculous. However, we all know that. If you Google pregnancies of Catherine, you get a picture of what a slender pregnant woman looks like throughout all the stages. Catherine has a longer torso, however. Also, your bump drops into your pelvis at 8 months. Meghan's belly is way too high for that size bump in the black dress. This one does look like a prosthetic to me, especially the part where the sunlight makes the dress see-through. Her belly rounds up too sharply at the bottom, unlike a real belly with no natural separation between the bottom of your bump and your pelvis. Also, her hand placement bothers me. When you are that pregnant, you have no distinction between your waist and hips, which is why pregnant women rest their hands on their lower back where the butt begins to protrude. I always placed my hands with my thumbs resting on my back or sides, lower down closer to my hips when in this position while pregnant, and I was tiny. Bellies are heavy. What she is doing looks very uncomfortable. Wouldn't resting your hands that way add weight to the belly? You'd have to fan your fingers out and support your back as your natural center of gravity changes when pregnant or carrying any extra weight. Think about holding a heavy box you move, and ambulate differently as your center of gravity is momentary off. I have only ever seen pregnant women this big cradle the bump from the bottom to lift the bump upward to take some of the pressure off, or support their lower back because the center of gravity shifts. And weight gain hurts, and puts an incredible amount of pressure on their lower back and hips. Her bump clearly has some incredible anti-gravity effects. And look how weirdly wrinkled her dress is on top of her bump, which wouldn't happen if her hand was pressing against a real bump. It's not her hand pushing on the fabric, it's just that spot. It looks like it could have moved / gotten displaced a bit when she pressed her hand against it. My thought is, if she ever actually were pregnant and gave birth, we would never hear the end of it. Her podcast, her PR puff pieces, all of that would be milking her pregnancy and birth stories. There would be something dramatic and heroic, and we would likely see far more photos of her actual pregnancy bump. A narcissist must milk everything. However, she has never talked about what it is like being pregnant, being in labor, or even being a parent. She knows she cannot lie credibly on the subject. She stole another woman's miscarriage story. It didn't ring true to my ears. It was too pretty and cinematic, none of the heart-wrenching agony one would expect, and the usual lack of specific details. Like, how far along was she? Do we even know that much? Did she deliver a fetus, or essentially a blood clot? That is a big difference in my opinion. Although both situations are sad when they really happen to a couple happily expecting. It just seemed awfully convenient and allowed her to postpone the lawsuit. The opposite of the editorial page was to give it more of an air of legitimacy in her warped mind. Pregnancy details were unreliable. Nursing details were similar. I just recall the footage from the polo match, where she is flopping Archie around in the hot, hot sun with no bonnet and wearing a maxi dress with no nursing accessibility. She flopped him around like an accessory, not a newborn. The outfit she was wearing did not look ready for breastfeeding. It is possible she was bottle feeding. However, she did not seem to have a bottle bag, and that baby wasn't fed once while at this event. The ugliest in her pregnancy story is lies. She lied to the whole world. And she lied for a long time. And she still does. How can such a person be respected and listened to at all? A person who lies so blatantly will lie whenever it suits her. How did the royal family go along with this is what baffles me so much. Like even Harry, did he really watch her put on her bump each day and think, "Oh, what a fun game this is, I was terrified of being found out, and would hide as much as possible if I was lying this boldly"? And I will tell you something interesting. If you turn the photo upside down, you will see that this belly is in the right position. The reversal created the artificial shelf shape and humongous contour immediately under her breasts. How could she have never realized that she was often wearing it upside down? Simply because she had never invested 1 second to notice the shapes or behaviors of actual pregnant women. Perhaps wearing her fake pregnancy bumps upside down contributed to all of the episodes of malfunctions witnessed by British photographers. I can imagine her explaining to Harry the reasons for the importance of deception to the public because of the outdated born body requirement for the British throne. This explains a lot about their other strange behaviors and choices. Even if the Harkle children carry DNA of Harry, they should be removed from the line of succession. Frankly, the titles of the unsuccessful should be retracted for being traitors to the British crown and their deceptions, well, to put an end to their whining shenanigans. I'm just so confused about how anyone can believe this bump was real. Look at the photos. I mean, it's so obvious. It's not even in the right place. I'm just gobsmacked about how she gets away with these stunts. Well, it's all speculation. I mean, it's more than just a fake baby bump. It's fraud on the British people because it would mean those kids would not be in the line of succession if it ever came out she had not carried or birthed them. Succession is the key aspect. Something both are obsessive about clinging on to, particularly so here, to have potentially gone through all this, and to be saddled with 2 kids she never really wanted and only had to secure a lifetime gift. It's pretty far-fetched, and the lie would have to have been perpetuated by a lot of people. The rest of her body does not seem to have gained weight. It is all belly. I think that is why she posed as she did. Remember how Catherine's face filled out when she was pregnant with Louis, and a lot of people thought she looked good with a little fat. Yet straight after the alleged birth of Archie, she suddenly gains weight. This weight could have been from taking hormones to induce breast milk that she wouldn't have had naturally as she was never pregnant. Meghan's photos and lifestyle while she was pregnant were very strange. Meghan from Boston, I think, are probably friends and seem to do the same thing. Moon bumps with skin-tight dresses and heels because, they're so feminine and sexy even during pregnancy. Meanwhile, you don't see any swelling. No weight gain anywhere else on her body. It's such a slap in the face to pregnant and childbearing people whose bodies naturally change. It really annoys me. Some of them have never had kids, and maybe never paid that much attention to the bumps of pregnant women around us. So all of the pregnancy things, the bumps, squatting, etc., just mean nothing to some of them. Yet, I think whether we've ever been pregnant or not, most of us know the toll a pregnancy takes on a body. She has never mentioned anything just once. This perpetual victim had two so utterly perfect pregnancies. It is the first thing in her life she has failed to bring up in any conversation or interview. I don't believe it. If her pregnancies were painless, then she wouldn't waste time in bragging considering Catherine was so poorly with all three of hers. If they were terrible, then she'd say so for sympathy, yet there has been nothing. Not a single word beyond Harry saying he inhaled the inox. Do you think she keeps quiet about the pregnancies because billions of women have given birth? And she can't lie about something she has never experienced because people who have had kids would know instantly she was lying. Just my conspiracy, however, there has to be a reason that she has never once mentioned anything that comes with pregnancy. Absolutely nothing. Not one word. It's thought-provoking. The problem with Meghan is that she has no self. She lacks authenticity and has no personality of her own. She's an empty vessel on the inside and tries to copy people, yet fails miserably. Just like she failed trying to copy the postures of pregnant women. There is no way that this creature was ever pregnant, let alone birthed a baby. I also think that she's not raising children. Not that I have proof, yet motherhood doesn't suit her, and she's too egotistical to let a baby or toddler dictate her daily life. In conclusion, I see Meghan still clumsily trying to maintain her lies. Until the truth about the children is exposed, I believe every time she mentions being a victim during her pregnancy, evidence that she faked it will be dug up. That brings us to the end of this video. Do you agree with my opinion? Please comment to let us know your opinion. Don't forget to like and share the video so YouTube can recommend similar videos. And if you want to receive notifications about the latest videos, please subscribe. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.